Hello. I'm good. How are you? I didn't see the fade, so hooray. Yay! Yes, you did. Absolutely. I think we named it together, so yeah. I'm Darren I'm Darren Clark. Sort of ant and deck kind of way. Yeah. We are top and bottom. But you could be on top and I could be on the bottom and I wouldn't mind. Adam, I'll take you any way you'd like. Keep it clean. Oh, we're here for the launch of this new UK musicals site, which is it's a site which celebrates the work of new musical writers. Does what it says on the tin in the UK. So it's a site where writers can sell their sheet music, and performers and fans can go and buy it, and then they can sing it, and then they can sing it in their showers and on their toilets and in their bathrooms, and also at auditions. We can't hear you. Oh, disaster. Because I'm just rambling. Oh dear. Can Adam be heard now? No? Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the site, the wonders of technology, the horrors of technology. I'll talk to you without Adam for a little bit. So yeah, this site is a site that we've been talking about for a long time. Actually, people have been, like the writers have been talking about getting a place where people can buy their sheet music for a long time, and but no one ever had any time to do it because it was sort of kind of a time-intensive task. And then suddenly, coronavirus happened, and one of the side effects is that theatre writers had a hell of a lot of time on their hands. And I was one of those theatre writers who had a hell of a lot of time on his hands. And one of the things I decided to do was like, well, I might as well use my time to build that thing that we've always wanted to have. And so that's what I did. I built it in the upstairs room of my friends Alvaro and Danny, who I was isolating with originally, and I reached out to all these writers, some of my favourite writers, and they got on board with the idea, and they started sending me their songs, and the rest is sort of history, as it were.
Hey,
It's very.
Darren, I think I'm back, by the
Hello.
way.
Can everybody hear Adam now?
Well, they will be able to in 17 seconds. But
In
yeah,
17 seconds, they're going to be out.
but yeah, I'm back. But that's fine.
Great, great.
Well, I can see level. I mean, maybe we should leave it and just till other people can see level too, and then they might feel excited about it.
Okay, Adam.
Um,
My understanding is that Adam can come back soon, so like he's coming back.
let's wait for the comments. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Yes, they
Yes,
can hear Adam.
yes.
Yes.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes.
I mean, in a way,
Wasn't that fun?
you could almost imagine that I'd done that on purpose in order to just once again show you how live we are and how
We are
exciting it is.
so live. It hurts.
It's fun to be part of a live moment, isn't it?
It is. It
Um,
is.
all right, so I guess people have had enough of
They've had
not
enough of me, certainly.
yeah, and not being able to hear me. But yeah, for those of you who couldn't hear when my microphone wasn't working, I'm Adam Benson, and down below me is Darren Clark, and welcome to the new ukmusicals.co.uk launch concert. Why don't you introduce our first writer?
So our first writer is a wonderful Scotsman who I met actually when he came along to see one of my shows in 2015. He was in the audience of These Trees Are Made of Blood, and he came up to me afterwards and said how much he hated it. No, he did tell me he enjoyed it, and we sort of had a sort of communication ever since. I've always been a big admirer of his work. His work is full of soul and life and humor and fun, and this wonderful driving passion. And his name is Finn Anderson, and he's a Scot. and we're going to go to him now, I think.
Here we go.
Hey, I think I'm live. I'm having a couple of yes, I'm live. Hey, yeah, I'm Finn. I'm coming to from my flat in Glasgow. Yeah, this is such a pleasure, firstly, to be part of this, and thank you, Darren, for setting it up. Thank you, Adam, for hosting this tonight, and to everyone for being involved. Yeah, so this song is called Change of Plan, and is from a new musical called A Mother's Song, which I am currently developing with my collaborator, Tanya Azevedo. And yeah, this song is sung by the protagonist, the lead character, Sarah, who has recently moved into an apartment in New York with her female partner, Alex. Sarah comes from a long line of traditional folk ballad singers, descended from Scottish and Irish ballad singers who migrated to America. And yeah, her and Alex moving into this new apartment, they've always agreed that they don't want children. But during the move, Sarah uncovers basically a bunch of research that was left to her by her late Aunt Betty about all of the women in her family tree, which relates to themes of music and also motherhood. And through this process, she uncovers her own desires and growing desires to become a mother. So yeah, this song kind of comes about 2/3 of the way through the show and is sung by Sarah. And I'm so excited that Tori Alan Martin's going to be performing it tonight. We first worked together in like 2013, a long time ago, and so it's so special that she's singing that tonight. So yeah.
So what? It wasn't part of the plan. So what? Aren't plans made for breaking? So what? It wasn't part of the map we grew. So what? Aren't maps ever changing? How was I ever to know all this would show just by holding myself up to the light? Space to breathe, space to be and see. For me, this just feels suddenly right. So what? It wasn't part of the plan. So what? Aren't plans made to shatter? So what? It isn't part of the world I built. So what? Maybe that world doesn't matter. People change day to day. People go where they are blown until they find the right place. Bodies change all the time. Maybe mine has just decided that it's ready to embrace the new. As I breathe a little deeper, all these images grow stronger in my mind as I fill them all with color. It feels easier to leave the rest behind as I lean a little closer. All my doubts and questions somehow turn to dust, and I see a little clearer. As this urge grows, this urge grows, I can see that tiny face, those tiny hands, and all the crazy things they can do. I can see you so amazed, yet at the same time so unfazed by all that this life will bring to you. Somewhere in the bottom of my heart, somewhere there's a fire burning. Somewhere in the cellar of my soul, somewhere there's a tide it's turning. Somewhere in the attic of my mind, someone left a window ajar, feeding oxygen to the burning fire in my heart. As I breathe a little deeper, I feel every day I'm closer to the light. As I I look a little harder. I feel something in me putting up a fight as I go a little further. I get just a little closer to the truth, and I see a little clearer as this urge grows in me. So what? It wasn't part of the plan. So what? Aren't plans made for breaking?
Hello, I am back, and I think my sound is working. So, phew. I mean, sound is a tricky thing, and especially when it's live. But thanks for bearing with me. That was the incredible Tori Allen Martin singing a song by Finn Anderson, and thank you so much for joining us for this concert. It's you know, lockdown has been difficult, obviously, and terrible and weird, but one of the great things about it has been that Darren and I have been talking for a while about how to support the UK musical theatre writing community. And I think it was a year or two ago that we both said it would be amazing if there were a sheet music website so that people could download songs and sing them in auditions and sing them in showcases, and that people could actually start hearing songs from new musicals more. And yeah, it took lockdown to turn Darren Clark into a hyper proactive work machine to build the website and get everything sorted about it. And yeah, now we're launching it, and that's really, really exciting. So we've got 12 songs for you today. That was the first, and they're all from writers that are featured on the website, and they're all songs that you can purchase right now. And they're all from writers who have loads of other songs that you can purchase and start singing along to. So thank you again for joining us. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next writer, who is the incredible Susanna Pierce. So taking you live now to Susanna Pierce. Okay, so as you can probably tell, we weren't able to reach Sue Pierce, the joy of live, but here now to sing her song, we'll try and get her back to talk about it afterwards, is the incredible Claire Marie Hall. Here's Claire Marie Hall. Enjoy.
You were incapable of dishonesty. If I analyze the reason, it's because when I saw your face, I thought it was so nice, kind, loyal. Strip away the frosting to the cake inside. Creamy chocolate dusting can sometimes hide. Jammy, soggy sponge cake made with nuts and yam that you just weren't expecting. I realize I should have been more sensible. Should have cut into the cake before I bit. It's too late now, 'cause I've eaten it. That's just plain stupid. Strip away the frosting to the cake inside. Yellow smiley marzipan can sometimes hide. Wibbly pink blancmange, pinker than a ham that you just weren't expecting. Yeah, I wanna smash his face in. That might seem quite extreme, but I cannot forgive him for being chocolate covered while not containing cream. Strip away the frosting to the cake inside. Blotchy, lumpy custard, in this case hides a squodgy roly-poly filled up with jam. What I mean is I look like an idiot, and in fact, I am.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Claire Marie. Sorry that I couldn't speak before. I just want to say it's great to be here. Great to see you all. I wrote that song you just heard with wonderful composer Yoon Young Park. And we've got more songs from that show. It's called Once Upon a Time in Narcissia. And it just seems ridiculous to tell you about it now because you've heard it, but just retrospectively cast your mind back to 5 minutes ago. And it's a satirical retelling of the Cinderella story. And as I'm sure you got from hearing the song, Judith, the character singing, has had some issues because the person that she has fallen in love with had an exterior that didn't match their interior. But I'm sure you got all that from the performance, so you don't need me to talk about it. But yeah, just to say thank you again, Claire Marie, and thank you to Darren and Adam for letting me be a part of this. And yeah, good luck, everyone. I hope your internet's better than mine.
Thanks, Sue. That was fantastic. That actually that you got to say something is wonderful. I've known Sue for quite a long time. We were in BML together, and I remember the very first song she wrote. It sticks with me today. It was we were asked to write a happy goodbye song, and lots of people wrote sort of love songs, and Sue wrote a goodbye song to a happy hello, a sad hello song to a grey hair that had appeared in her eyebrow. And I just thought, yeah, this lady's got something different going on in her brain. And I just loved it. So it's such a pleasure to have her here. So the next up, we've got a dynamic duo, who refer to themselves cheekily as Noisemaker. They are a pair of Scots who I understand met while they were studying at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. I met them, well, first I heard about them. I heard about them because I was looking for sort of folk I heard about this folk-based musical called Forest Boy, and I was like, what's going on? I'm the only one who writes folk-based musicals. How dare other people write folk-based musicals? And I went online and I found this thing called Forest Boy, and I was immediately filled with a seething rage and envy and jealousy when I discovered how good the music was. Years later, I would finally meet them when I was in New York with the Wicker husband, with my collaborator Rhys Jennings and the wonderful Charlie Weston Ra, and they were there. Claire and Scott were there, and they came to see our performance of Wicker husband, and we all had a drink afterwards, and it was a real pleasure getting to know them, and also to discover that they're really, really nice, wonderful people. So I couldn't then go on hating them. I had to stop hating them and had to start listening to all the rest of their music, which is just as stunning as Forest Boy, if not more so. It turns out they don't just do folk, they do everything else. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Claire and Scott of Noisemaker.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Scott.
And I'm Claire, and together we are Noisemaker, a writing partnership based in Glasgow, Scotland. And we're thrilled to be part of the lineup tonight, and a really big thank you to Darren and Adam for setting this all up.
So our song tonight is called Comfortable, and is taken from a show called Songs from the Seven Hills that was commissioned by the Sheffield Crucible Theatre. This was a community project that looked at the lives and true stories of the people of Sheffield, and one of these stories was of a trans actor that worked with Claire and I and spoke really openly about their own personal experience of transitioning. Comfortable comes out of a moment in that story where they were asked why they wanted to put their body through such a physical change, and the song is really them articulating why this is something they have to do to become who they really are.
We've had the great pleasure of being able to collaborate with Harrison Knights this week in the run-up to this concert, and we really hope you enjoy the performance of Comfortable.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Harrison Knights, and I am a trans actor and musician, and I'm also the artistic director of Trans Voices Company, which is a company dedicated to platforming those trans voices in the industry that might not have a voice yet. We're particularly representing the musical theatre performers for the distinct lack of trans representation within musical theatre. If you are watching and you are struggling with your own gender identity, please know that there are people out there to help you. If you are looking for some dedicated help, please check out Gendered Intelligence, who will be able to help you as much as they can. If you're also trans, non-binary or gender non-conforming, and you want to pursue a career in musical theatre or in the industry as a whole, please know that it is absolutely possible to do this. We can help you at Trans Voices Company by putting you in contact with the right people and helping you forge a path in musical theatre and in the industry as a whole. It is totally doable, and you are valid within this industry. Lots of love. I don't know about you, but my body's a home, what I'm forced to live in. Didn't get to view before I moved in. So if given a chance, when you're stuck inside a house that you can't stop, what would you do? Maybe you paint the walls, maybe you'd strip the floors, maybe you'd hang up pictures, put up curtains that make it feel like yours. Maybe you'd buy some changes, maybe you'd rearrange things to make it suit you, to make it match, to make it feel comfortable. My body's a home, and if it's where I have to stay, I wanna feel comfortable. I wanna feel comfortable. My name is my own, isn't that fair to say? So shouldn't my identity also be mine to claim? My gender expression, it's not some kind of trick. I don't want attention, I'm not provoking, I'm just being me. So that's why I paint the walls, that's why I tear them down, that's why I gut the attic, pull up the floorboards to stop this house from falling down. It's why I'd make these changes, it's why I'd rearrange things to make my skin suit me, to make it match, to make it feel comfortable. My body's home, and if it's where I have to stay, I wanna feel comfortable. I wanna feel comfortable. I want to feel comfortable. I wanna feel comfortable. My body's a home, and I wanna feel comfortable.
Hello. Oh,
Hello.
You speak, Darren. Oh, we've got it. I have got audio. Good. I worried for a
You got
second.
it. Yay!
Oh, this whole live teching thing is quite stressful, but it makes me feel alive and human at this strange time.
It does, and a huge thank you, I think, to Claire and Scott and Harrison for that performance. So, it's really important that we amplify those voices because they need to be heard. It's really important. So thanks for Claire and Scott for writing that song, and Harrison for singing it so beautifully.
Agreed. Absolutely extraordinarily beautiful.
So next up, we've got two jokers who I've known for quite a long time. Have you known them for quite a long time as well, Adam?
Yeah, I've known Richie for slightly longer, but I didn't know that they wrote together, which is always nice when people from different partnerships mix up and write a new song.
Yeah, I believe they fell out. They probably fell out. They're both horrible, horrible people. So they're the most delightful people you could ever meet. We're speaking, of course, of Richie Hughes and the delightful Ed Bell. Notice I didn't give Richie Hughes a descriptor. I sort of left that up to your imagination, and the delightful Ed Bell. I met Richie and Ed again through BML. You're probably noticing a little pattern there. It's BML, just a shout out to them. It's the most amazing training ground for musical theatre writers. If you're interested in writing musicals, get in touch with them. Join their workshop course. It changed my career, it changed my life. And as it has many people's, by introducing you to incredible collaborators, teaching you how to write. In particular, these guys, Richie Hughes, I've collaborated with on a couple of pieces now, and Ed Bell has always been there for me with really great sound business advice, as well as being a wonderful writer.
Yeah, a great entrepreneur is Ed Bell.
Indeed. Indeed.
Also, just to say, I was very proud to direct Superhero, which Richie Hughes wrote the exceptional lyrics for. which is also on the site. So there are a few different combinations
Yes.
of writers on the site, aren't there? People can.
Indeed, yes. The award-winning, the Off West End award-winning show, The Superhero, which I had the pleasure of seeing back in when was this? 2017?
I guess so.
Was it?
Feels like yesterday.
So many musicals. It was a wonderful, wonderful piece, a one-man musical, and there's some fantastic songs from that are on the site, including the Stiles and Drew award-winning song "Don't Look Down," which I think beat one of my songs in the Stiles and Drew that year. So thanks for that, Richie. Horrible man. and Ed has done a hell of a lot with his musical theatre work. He's worked over here. He's done a lot of work over in the States, in particular writing a show called My 80-Year-Old Boyfriend, and the songs from that are just beautiful. But we'll introduce you to them now, I think.
Great.
Yeah.
Richie Hughes and Ed Bell. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Oh,
Hi.
I thought that might happen. Hi. So my name's Ed Bell. I'm a composer lyricist, and I'm here with. No, I'll let you introduce yourself. Richie.
And I'm Richie Hughes, a lyricist on the standalone song that you're about to hear, called "Push It."
And so we've just heard Darren and Adam introduce us. So they've said some of the stuff, to hear a bit of idea of kind of where we're coming from. But yeah, Richie and I. First of all, Richie is an amazing person, and I'm sure that was clear from what was said before. But Richie and I met in 2012, I think, when we both joined the BML, Book Music and Lyrics Workshop. Wrote a song on the program, but also collaborated. We've collaborated since on a couple of different songs. And so this song you're going to hear today is called "Pushy." It's a solo male song, and Richie might. So the idea came from Richie's personal experience, I think. So I'll let him explain how that works.
I'd had to pull him to one side for the third week running and explain to him that, yeah. Oh, okay. From the start, yeah. Great. Okay. Okay, so this song is called "Pushy," a standalone song, and it is sung by 40-year-old Barry, a character you'll find at junior football matches up and down the country every weekend, strutting the sidelines with their tracky bottoms tucked into their socks, telling everyone how their kid is going to be the next big Premier League star. And the idea for the song came for me one Sunday morning whilst watching my own son at football training. I'd had to pull him to one side for the third week running to explain that unless both his attitude and his ability to clear the first defender from corner kicks improved, he was in serious danger of being left out of Little Thurrock Dynamo's under fours starting team. The song is in no way autobiographical. I'm going to pass you on to Ed, but firstly, I'd like to give my huge thanks to Darren and Adam for letting me be a part of this. And Ed is going to tell you more about our performer tonight.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, first of all, again, huge thanks to Adam and Darren for creating this opportunity. Not just for us, but for all these different writers to share. As I think Darren said, I lived in the US for a while, where like all this stuff has been developed for years, and it's really amazing both for you guys to like be able to access this music that tons of new writers are writing, and also for us to be able to share a lot of the stuff. Like this song is like 6 or 7 years old now, so it's really great to be able to share it beyond just the two of us with demos and in rehearsal rooms and stuff like that. So singing the song today, we're really lucky to have a video recording from an actor whose name is Luke Baker, who you might know. He originated the role of Dean in Everybody's Talking About Jamie in Sheffield at the Crucible, and then in the West End. He was there for, I think, a couple of years. And we actually went to school together. We're from the same village in Yorkshire. And Luke sung this song a few times. If you listen to the demo on the New UK Musical site, he's the demo of that from a few years ago. That's Luke singing. So we're really lucky that he was able to sing this song today. So yeah, I think that's everything. We'll hand over. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy Pushy.
I tell my son, not everyone grows up to be a star. We can't all be famous, look at me. But with a name like Bobby Charlton, Beckham, Giggsy, Cantona, Pratt, he wants to be the best that he can bloody be. One day, gents, you'll all agree. One day you will see why I was pushy. All you other parents call me pushy, 'cause I care about my son, pushy. Because I dare to tell the boy that taking part's enjoyable, but winning's much more fun. The team should find another 10 unapologetic men who care enough to never spare the rod. Gents who think it's fair enough to give their little prodigies a gentle parental prod. Pushy. One day he'll understand when life is cushy, earning 80 grand a week and a swoosh. He chooses on his footy boots, means he chooses Chelsea boots from Jimmy Choo's boutique. The kind of cash that means no strife, the flashy car, the trashy wife, the sort of life desired by every bloke. And all 'cause every now and then I gave that blue-eyed boy of mine a gentle parental poke. Do you think Ronaldo's father sat him down when he was 6, saying, let the wimpy fat boy with the asthma take free kicks? Or Pele's pops said, put a stop to all your fancy tricks? Well, did he hell, you bunch of jealous pricks? No, they were pushy. He'll make the World Cup final 'cause I'm pushy, with 3 lions on his chest, pushy. Fans will say the boy's a star, but he only got this far 'cause Pa was so obsessed. And when he scores a winner with the last kick of the game and lifts the trophy overhead to feverish acclaim, the proud and patriotic crowd as one will chant my name. I mean, his name. So put your new age parenting and pussy footy love. If you want your kid to be a hit, be sure to give the little shit a gentle parental shove. So my boy up, Gov.
Hello, everybody. I am live, and that was the wonderful Luke Baker singing Ed Bell's Pushy. Yeah, that was sorry, I've got so many screens open, I need to shut them down. Right, so next up, we've got a lovely pair of writers who've been writing together for a very long time. They've been writing, hold on, I'm a bit confused. Am I okay? Chris, so I'm not sure what's. Is everything all right? Everything's fine. Sorry, I just get a bit confused that I'm not on stage. I'm in the side stage. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. Yes. So this next pair of writers, I met during something called MMD Lab, which is another writers sort of workshop course that is run by the wonderful Mercury Musical Development, and that is and the coordinator at the time that I joined was a wonderful woman called Teresa Howard, and she'd written such brilliant shows as I Capture the Castle, and her longtime collaborator Steve Edis Stephen Edis. I had met him originally, so he came to see These Trees Are Made of Blood, but not the one that Finn came to see. He came to see the one that happened 2 years later, that was on at the Arcola Theatre. And I saw him afterwards, and he was very kind about the show. And then I learned I was going to be in lab with him, and it was very exciting. So I've known these two guys for a little while now, and have enjoyed many a lovely evening at Teresa's house, playing the piano and hearing Steve play the piano while we all sing horrifically improvised musical theatre songs. So it's a real pleasure to have them both here for the launch concert, and also have their sheet music, their incredible sheet music, and their songs available on the site for you to buy. So I'm going to hand it over to Teresa Howard and Steve Edis now.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us on this. It's great to at last be on stage with Steve again. It's been a really long time. Thank you, Darren and Adam and everyone who's been involved with this. It's great. This is a song that Rebecca Trehearn's going to be singing, called Hold Still, which is from our musical Possessed, which is about sex and love among the pre-Raphaelite artists.
As Darren said, we've also worked together on a musical adaptation of Dodie Smith's book, I Capture the Castle, which toured the UK a couple of years ago.
Hold Still is going to be sung by Rebecca Trehearn, the Olivia Award-winning actress of stage and screen. She starred in some amazing productions of Ghost and Love Story and City of Angels, and our dear friend Tim Connor's Heart of Winter. We've admired her for a really long time, but never got the chance to work with her. So especially excited about tonight.
The song, Rebecca's playing the character of Jane Morris in the show. The character, she's standing in the mist down by the river at Kelmscott Manor, and she's singing to the memory of Dante Gabriel Rossetti, her dead lover, in an attempt or a plea to still his ghost.
And she does as he asked, which was to tear up the blue love letters he wrote her and burn them in a fire with winter leaves. Steve.
Hold still, my love. No matter how your heart weeps, you must believe I'll love you always. And still, my love, however hard the wind blows, you must believe I'll love you always. In the dead of night, when your demons call, I'll raise a burning candle to them all. Hold still, my love, no matter how your heart weeps, I'll never leave. I'll be here always, until my love, the color fades to nothing,
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you, Teresa and Steve, and thank you to the Olivier Award-winning Rebecca Trehearn for joining us. Yeah, what a lovely evening I'm having. Sorry about the initial technical bumps, but now we all know we're alive. So glad to be here with Darren to celebrate this evening. I just want to tell you, members of the audience, a couple of things about how you can help both my production company and newukmusicals.co.uk. If you're watching this evening and having a nice time and feel able to, you can buy a ticket for tonight at the link there, alpmusicals.com/tickets, for £5 a person. And that helps support writers during this challenging time. It's part of our non-for-profit fund that we're raising to give money to writers. Also, you can go to newukmusicals.co.uk and literally buy songs for yourself, your friends, your relatives, your students to sing. And it's a really great opportunity to refresh those reps. I know how much I love it when I go to a showcase or go to an audition and I hear a new song rather than hearing the same old songs. And I think amazing the ripple effect it can have when you sing a new song. Only one person needs to hear it, and that person needs to tell someone who tells someone, and then soon enough the show can have buzz and the writer can be known just because a person sang the song. And in the end, that's why writers write, so that people can sing their songs. So yeah, buy a ticket if you can, buy some sheet music if you can. That's why we're here. That's why these phenomenal artists and singers are here. And also it makes a huge difference if you can post about this on social media. If you can post at New UK Musicals, I think that's the @ it's on the programme, or at ALP Musicals. If you subscribe to our YouTube, if you like this video, everything helps build a bonfire for New UK Musicals, which is what we're all here trying to do. We've had 5 songs. It's about to be our 6th and final song of this act. So after this song, we're going to have a little break of about 15 minutes, and we'll come back with 6 incredible new songs. So stick around, obviously. I know you're going to. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce us to our last writer of this act. He's an amazing writer. I've been lucky enough to work with him and feature him at some of our Signal concerts, both in the real world and online. And this next song, since the first time I heard it at Signal 9, have been unable to ever forget it. It is an earworm that lives in your soul, and it is a beautiful and affirming song, and the performance tonight, I know, is going to make you fall in love with it. And once you have, you can literally buy the sheet music so you can sing it forever. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to our final writer of the act, the incredible Amir Schoenfeld.
Hi everybody. My name is Amir Schoenfeld. I'm a composer and a songwriter, and I'm actually coming to you live from the land of Israel. The song that we're presenting tonight is from a show called Benny in Beta, which I'm writing with the amazing lyricist and book writer Matthew Green. And our show centers around a character who's called Benny, who's a robot who goes on this journey of self-discovery. But he meets a few characters along the way. One of these characters sings this song that you're going to hear tonight. The character's called Ollie, and he's a young working class guy from Oakland, California, who works as a security guard in a tech store in San Francisco. And one day he sees Benny coming out of the tech store, having just stolen this customer assistant drone. Being the security guard, he stops Ollie stops Benny and tries to grab the drone back from him, and they have a bit of a scuffle, and he accidentally rips Benny's shirt off to discover that Benny is a robot. Ollie's mind is blown, and after he gets over it, he decides that he's gonna leave this dead-end job and join Benny's journey. Benny, who's a robot, doesn't quite understand the value of human companionship, especially somebody like Ollie, who seems to have no discernible skills. So he needs some convincing, which Ollie does, singing this song that's going to be performed by the incredibly talented Yazdan Qafouri.
Benny, dude, hear me out. To me, the freaking robot isn't something that I'm used to or that happens every day. My days are pretty boring and I don't do much exploring. So when something like this happens, I just go with it. Okay, so dude, can I just say it sounds like an adventure? I don't mean to sound too eager, but I'd really like to go. I may not get the science, but we're forming an alliance, and I'm sure I'll find a way to be of use to you. You know, I know you may not see it, but I can guarantee it. Benny, I'm your guy. If you're traveling alone, you need a buddy, somebody to have your back, who's standing by. Everybody needs a pal when things get muddy. And buddy, you're in luck, 'cause I'm your guy. Now listen, I know I'm not much help with robotic batteries, dry fusion, whatever it is you're looking for, but it's a mean world out there. And I'm not saying you can't handle it on your own, but maybe I'm saying that. Hey man, listen, I don't mean to be an asshole, but you really aren't ready for the crap you might endure. You're topless and you're stealing and you don't know what you're dealing with, but with the right companion you can make it through for sure. I'll teach you how to fake it, I'll help you till you make it. Benny, I'm your guy. If you're traveling alone, you need a buddy, somebody to have your back, who's standing by. Everybody needs a pal when things get muddy. And buddy, you're in luck, 'cause I'm your guy. I'm the Robin to your Batman, the Morty to your Rick. You're Obama, I'm the other guy. I'm Rudolph, you're Saint Nick. And I know that you're a robot, but I think we really click. You couldn't ask for more. Isn't that what life is for? If you're traveling alone, you need a buddy, somebody to have your back, who's standing by. Everybody needs a pal when things get muddy. So what do you say, Benny? Train station's this way. You don't gotta be alone, 'cause I'm your buddy. And you know I got your back, I'm ride or die. Benny, now you got a pal, you've got somebody who's always standing by. Benny, you and I'm your guy.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thanks, Amir and Yazdan. That was wonderful. As you can see by the comments, that song was stuck in my brain for ages as well, and could only be dislodged by listening to Change of Plan by Finn Anderson, and then that got stuck in my brain and was dislodged by listening to Hold Still by Teresa Howard, and so on and so on. All of these songs are earworms, and it drives me insane, and it makes me very happy that they're on the site. One other thing about the performer there, Yazdan. So just before lockdown started, we our show, my show, with Rhys Jennings and Charlie Westenra, The Wicker Husband, was sadly closed before its time. It had its press night on the Monday and closed. And we were very, very fortunate to rehearse with the wonderful Yazdan Qafouri, and in fact Claire Marie Hall earlier as well, who played, Claire Marie played the innkeeper's wife, our fabulous innkeeper's wife, and Yazdan actually played the title role of the Wicker Husband, who was, for those of you who didn't see it, a 3-person Bunraku puppet, which was just extraordinary. So not only was he like manipulating this puppet, but he was singing beautifully and acting wonderfully. It was quite an extraordinary thing. So lovely to have him be part of this concert as well, and to sing so wonderfully Amir's brilliant song.
And I will say, although Darren's songs do not feature in tonight's concert, because that's the sort of modest man he is, that songs from Touring and Benjamin Button and The Wicker Husband are on the site. And I think that we all know that we're going to do, us as a community can do everything we can to make sure that The Wicker Husband gets on again once this madness gets unpaused. But until then, I know what would make Darren and Reese very happy, and Charlie, is if you could download songs from The Wicker Husband and sing them and send them your videos, because it's a great way of keeping that show alive.
It would literally, Charlie Westermeyer cries every time she sees a video of The Wicker Husband being sung by someone, so please, please do.
Which, as I'm sure most writers do when someone that they've never met before sings their work, because that's what we do it for. That's what writers do it for. I'm not a writer, but yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we're just going to stop waffling now, and it's time for you to get a drink. It's about to be an interval. We're going to take 15 minutes. You'll know that there's 5 minutes left because the timer will begin again. It's a great opportunity to buy a ticket, buy some sheet music, get a drink, tweet a bit, you know, the usual things. Anything else to say from you, Darren?
That's it. I'm going to get a beer.
Me too. Have a great interval, everybody, and see you soon.
See you guys.
Hello, we're back. Darren?
Hello?
Oh, yeah. Hello, we're back.
We're back?
Yeah.
We're back. Did you have a nice drink?
I did, yeah.
Good. I also had a nice drink. I had a Corona.
Nice.
I'm totally on brand. I'm just going to give a little shout out as we're starting the second half of the evening, not only to the first half's writers and performers, and to Adam and Chris, who's our wonderful tech wizard behind the scenes, who is the Chris that I was talking to when I thought I was lost, but also to my own personal lighting designer who I had working with me today, Dylan Jasper, who designed this lovely array of lights behind me. He's 9. But I think he's got a great future ahead of him. So, yeah, over to you, Adam.
So these next writers are the first UK new musical theatre writers that I ever had the pleasure of meeting, or displeasure, I suppose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's an absolute displeasure, isn't it? It's an absolute, they were some of the first ones that I'd ever met as well. And I met them in a pub. After my very first BML meeting.
Yeah,
they were there.
In the BML days, they mostly spent their days in the pub and then left to go to BML and then returned.
Yeah, they were drunk when I met them, and they talked about many things which I will not repeat here. But needless to say, we've become fierce enemies ever since.
So I really like new musicals. That's probably a given.
No.
But in the early days of my career, if I could even call it that, I mostly directed new American shows because they were finished and you could listen to the cast recordings and see them on YouTube sometimes. And when I met Luke Bateman, I said to him, I really like new musicals. And he went, well, I've written one. You should read that. And it was the first new British musical I ever read the script of.
Wow.
And it's the show Personality, for which they've got some songs on the website. They've got a few different shows. They've got The Fabulous Fox Sister, a Signal original. They've got Sorrows of Satan,
The Little Beasts.
Little Beasts. Yeah, they're prolific.
Prolific writers.
Personality is is one of my all-time favorite musicals that has not been produced yet. I say yet because it's going to be. It's just it needs a mid-scale to large-scale production, ideally large scale, and that's something that we're aiming towards. But the good news is it's set in the 1970s, so it was out of date when it was written, which means it hopefully won't do.
It's almost like Luke and Michael, both of them were out of date when they were born, so I think that fits them very, very well.
Yes.
They wouldn't mind me saying that, I'm sure.
No, they probably wouldn't. Anyway, they're great friends of both of ours. We love them. This is an absolute incredible banger of a song that they've got on the site and that we've got singing tonight, and it's incredible. The singer who's going to sing it, who originated the role in all of the workshops of this show. But I will let them introduce her, and without further ado, I will take us live to the living room of I think Luke Bateman. Here we go.
I just caught the end of that. That is pure lies, apart from Personality being a great musical. This is the first time I've ever been allowed to appear on the Signal. Michael, who's here in mannequin form, has always done the talking, and maybe you know why. He has, however, written me something to read to you, because I'm not allowed to invent my own words. Hi everyone, I'm Luke Bateman. First, I'd like to thank Adam and Darren for making tonight possible. Second, I'd like to thank Michael Conley for not being here. He did, however, send a note which is asking me to read before our song. Good evening, y'all. That's how he speaks, because I actually don't even know where he's from, never asked. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a note from Michael Conley. Pause for ovation. Luke and I are thrilled to present a song from our first completed musical, which is yet unproduced, called Personality, based on Andrew O'Hagan's beautiful novel of the same name. It tells the story of Maria Tambini, a young Scottish girl who becomes a huge star when she wins a television singing competition in the 1980s in London. Our show is a sort of nightmare variety version of This Is Your Life, and all the songs are presented as set pieces before an imaginary television studio audience. This song, Someone Else's Words, is a song Maria sings in Act 2 when she wants her boyfriend to know exactly how she feels. So, please welcome our Maria. Producers take note. The incredible, the incomparable, incandescent, Zizi Strallen.
Someone else has written every word I'll ever sing, and most of them were written long ago. And though there's someone else's meant for anyone to sing, I mean them when I sing them. I thought you want to know. Someone else has written every word in every song, but they say what I want you to hear. For someone else has written what I've been thinking all along. I mean them when I sing them. I hope that much is clear. And how that someone know what to say. And how do you know about you? And how could he have known how I feel? I don't know how, but he knew still. When I'm singing to you, do not think about the man who carefully constructed every line. He lets me say I love you in the only way I can. The words are someone else's, but they might as well be mine.
Wow. I love that song, and it's so nice hearing it again. Thank you, Zizi, and thank you, Luke and Michael. You know, it's nice to have these events where you actually have to talk to one another, because, you know, it's a shame that you argue more than you write. Anyway, that is from Personality, the first show I ever directed a reading of and a workshop of, a show I love so dearly. And it's so special, and genuinely it's got a cast of 7 and a band of 5, but I mean ideally we'd do it with a cast of 11 and a band of 7, so I don't know. Let's hope that post-corona is inventive and ambitious and wants new musicals that are both nostalgic and terrifying. So we're in set 2, and we're on to our next brilliant pair of writers. I met the first of these writers because she is an extraordinary orchestrator, arranger, and in fact I met her as the music preparer, as head of the music preparation department on Roadshow at the Many a Chocolate Factory, and it was a new orchestration by Jonathan Tunick, and it was pretty cool, and it was very exciting time, and being around a new Sunday musical gets everyone talking about new musicals. And she said, I also am a writer of new musicals, and I write with a brilliant co-writer called Caroline, and you should hear our stuff. And I did, and I loved it ever since. I've been glad that they've been able to be at Signal, and it's just brilliant to have them in the community with us. And also, the one thing you know when you get a Jen Green song is that it's going to be incredibly well orchestrated, and tonight's song is no exception. So, without further ado, I am going to take you live to Jen Green and Caroline Wigmore, and they're going to tell you about their song and the amazing video that comes with it. So here we go.
Well, thanks so much, Adam. I don't quite know how we follow that one. That was a lovely introduction, and thank you. We're delighted to be here among so many talented friends and colleagues. Thank you so much to Darren and Adam for making this happen, because if anybody's ever tried to do anything like this, everyone knows quite how hard it is just to have the impetus to pull something like this together and then to make it into something lasting. And we are in awe of what you've done. Thank you. Caroline and I'm Jen, by the way. I'm the brunette English girl, and Caroline is the redhead US girl. No one can ever tell which is which, and we answer to both. We have written 7 shows together, including last year's Christmas show for Singapore Repertory Theatre, several shows for BYMT, which included The Bachelor Girls, which we then subsequently took to New York as part of the She Arts Festival, which was an amazing experience. The touring adaptation of Michael Morpurgo's Mimi and the Mountain Dragon, which if you have a small child in your life, you should take them and see it. It's got dragons, it's got snow. What else do you need at Christmas? A number of songs from all our shows are on the new UK Musicals website. Please do visit it, because your mind will be blown away by the breadth of talent there, and I could spend happy days just wading through everybody's amazing songs. This song is from our adaptation of Rip Van Winkle, and Caroline's going to tell you more about it.
Yes, so as Jen says, this is from Rip Van Winkle. Actually, the show is called Van Winkle, a folk musical, and it's based on the American classic tale Rip Van Winkle, which is set in the 1700s. And this song is sung by his wife, Wanda, who one night when Rip has left to go off into the woods drinking is quite upset. Little does she know that the reason he hasn't come home is that he's falling into a 200-year-long nap. Back to you, Jen.
For anyone who missed seeing Molly in the last 5 years at Southwark Playhouse before everything shut up shop, we feel your pain, because we missed her as well. So we are absolutely thrilled to have her singing Watching the Door. And she made a music video. She is truly amazing. And if everybody doesn't want to move to Ireland after this, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Enjoy.
Da 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 da. If you should ever lose your way, I'll wait for you, I'll watch for you. Keep a candle in the windowsill, burning all night long, if I have to, while you roam. I'll be waiting for you to come home. Winter and spring, summer and fall, they keep on coming, they just keep on coming. They say you're making a fool out of me, that a man doesn't change like the seasons. While you roam, I'll be waiting for you to come home. While you roam, I'll be hoping that you will come home. Da 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 da
Whoop. Hooray! Thanks for that, Molly. I'm sure you just made everybody wish that they were in Ireland and that they could be at the beach that you were at. It's just what an extraordinary treat to see you singing that song in particular on the shores of Ireland. So thank you. So up next is a writer who is quite a special fellow in my career and life. So he was one of my tutors on the BML course. Again, it's all back to BML. So he was one of my tutors, along with Jason Carr, who taught me a huge amount about songwriting for the theatre. And he was one of the first people I approached when I decided this is what I was going to do, because it's just he's just the most extraordinary writer. He's so skillful, so knowledgeable about what he does, and yet doesn't lose that ability to really sort of touch your heart and touch your emotions. And so it's a real pleasure to have Tim Sutton, the wonderful Tim Sutton, on and his wonderful songs, which are diverse and wonderful, on the New UK Musical site, and in particular to have him here tonight to introduce his song that is going to be sung tonight, and in particular the wonderful singer who's going to sing it for him. So I'll hand it over to Tim now. Back to me. Yeah. Hello there. Apparently we're having some technical difficulties at the moment. Oh, wait. He might be back. Okay. He's back. We're going to go again. What fun. This
Move
is.
closer to where I was earlier. Hold on. Okay, great. Yeah, I tried the link again. Okay. Hello. Well, thanks so much. I'm sorry about that. Wow, this is an amazing thing that Darren has set up. Thank you so much. It's like one of those things whereby somebody had to do it. It's one of those ideas that you think, well, somebody's, it's obvious when somebody's done it, like all great inventions. So thank you, Darren, and thank you to Adam for all the amazing curating and championing of new work, and indeed commissioning. I think that the state of writing of new British musical theatre is in as good a shape as it's ever been. I see people, coming out from with new perspectives on diversity, on gender, with new voices. It's really exciting time. It's just a question of us finding the theatre to do the shows now. But there we go. That was always a challenge. So this song, sung by Tyrone Huntley, is called Edge of the World, and it's from a show called Victory, which I'm writing with Juliet Jilts Romero, and it's about the involvement of soldiers from the Caribbean in the Great War. Eddie is a 14-year-old boy. He's been recruited. He's volunteered to fight for the motherland, for Great Britain in the First World War. He's a Trinidadian boy, and he's singing this song. This is his I Want song. He's singing this, imagining going and seeking his fortune, finding something over the rainbow, over the mountain, and being able to come back to his older brother Earl with pride and happiness in his heart. So this is Edge of the World, sung by the amazing Tyrone Huntley.
All of a sudden this island seems a little smaller than it did 5 minutes ago. The flower's flaming color blazes just a little duller than the color I used to know. There's a tiny glimmer in the distance, a shiny shimmer in the mist, and something more extraordinary. I hear it speaking to me, I feel it blow right through me, whispering in my ear, go do what you're meant to do. If I could see over the edge of the world, just let me see over the edge of the world. If I could be over the edge of the world, see how proud I could make you. Should I believe what they told me? Are the rivers of silver and gold meandering through foreign lands? If so, I'm going to track them, come back to Earl with a stack of fat dollars in my hand. Hey brother, why do you fret so? I just done paid off our debt, so give your face a rest a little. The time is past for study, gotta get my fingers muddy. Goodbye, island scholar, here's the adventurer. If I could see over the edge of the world, just let me see over the edge of the world. If I could be over the edge of the world, see how proud I could make you. I'm gonna leap over the edge of the world, and how proud I will make you.
Thank you so much, Tyrone, Huntley. Wow, what a cast we've had. I mean, it's been such a joy setting up this concert, because I think one of the things that Darren and I really aspired to do was show you these songs by people who you might normally see singing famous songs by American writers, and hear what it's like when they sing and interpret new songs which are every bit the equal, every bit the sing, every bit the music, every bit of the acting required. And in some ways I love hearing songs written by UK writers because they speak to thoughts and experiences that sometimes feel closer to home, that feel homegrown and local sometimes. And I very much enjoy that, which is why I spend so much time with UK writers. And yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here with them tonight. So this next writer, a regular collaborator of mine, we're working together on a show at the moment, and I met her in New York, where she lived for a stretch after studying at NYU. And yeah, I met her at an open mic in New York and didn't think much of it, because I thought, oh well, that person lives in New York now, that's not a place that I inhabit. I am entrenched in London and in the UK musical. But then this person moved back, and it's been a great pleasure getting to meet her and know her properly in the last couple of years. She was originally a stand-up. She's incredibly funny, probably like no stand-up enjoys you signposting them, but that makes its way into her musical theatre writing, and this next song is an absolute cracker, and it's amazing that who we've got singing for you, because she is also very funny. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to send you to about a mile from where I'm streaming right now. I'm in Highgate, choosing Golders Green, and sending you to the incredible Emily Rose Simons. All right, so I'm not getting any audio on Emily. She might not even know it yet, but we're just going to fix that. So I'm gonna waffle at you for a bit while we figure out how to fix that. Probably refreshing her browser window would be the way I would go about it. Yeah, it gives me a good opportunity to talk to you again, and to just remind you again that everything you can do to support the new musical theatre community at this time is valuable. If that's financial, we would really appreciate a ticket to purchase and a donation. If you could buy some sheet music, we'd appreciate that. If you could tweet or be on social media, we'd really appreciate that. I think writers are all quite scared right now about what theatre will be, and the way in which audiences can help is by saying, I like things that are new, I like things that are different, I like things which give me a new feeling. I've had enough of Grease and Les Mis. I love them, but it's time for something new, and that's what we're doing here tonight. Anyway, any way that you can help, we'd really appreciate it. If you've had a nice evening, despite the liveness and the technical joy of it all, then you can buy a ticket for only £5 and do all of those other things. All right, so it turns out that Emily's sound is now fixed, and we're now going to return to Emily. So here we go.
I'm live? Yay! Actually, that wasn't any problem with my microphone. I had just decided that I'd do some miming, and I thought that would be great for this evening. Hi, my name is Emily Rose Simons. I write musical theatre. So my page will be getting more music, which is very exciting. So I'm writing The Repatriates. And you can currently see the score for Dear New York Family, which was on Signal how does time work now? It was on Signal, I think a couple of signals ago, which might have been yesterday or 3 months ago. I don't know what time is anymore, but there's the New York family, and there'll be more music from that. That is a story about a woman getting out of bed, and it's about redefining your life and finding your life as uplifting and fun and funny. There's a song called Sad Emoji. Yes, and more music will be on there from Confessions of a Rabbi's Daughter, which is a musical that I did at the Fringe, I did it in New York, I did it at JW3. It's a lovely queer Jewish love story, and the music from that will be available in time for Signal MT Pride, where you'll get to hear According to His Will, and that will be super exciting to hear that performed. So tonight we have in store a very versatile and flexible standalone song. It's a cabaret song called The Vagina Song. It began its life as homework on the Graduate Musical Theatre Writing Programme. I even resubmitted it for another homework because I thought it was so good that hopefully that teacher wouldn't shout at me for that week. And then I put it into some cabarets in New York, one called Emily Rose Needs a Visa, the cabaret, and another cabaret called Emily Rose May or May Not Be Getting Deported, the cabaret. Meanwhile, David Merriman, the amazing, fabulous, wonderful, so brilliant David Merriman, put it into Oh Dear, What Can the Matter Be at Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, and he did an incredible arrangement of it, and his arrangement is what's available on the site, as well as his incredible backing, which you'll hear tonight. However, the arrangement he did for Central had a jolly little tap break. We don't include the tap break because I thought Sooz Kempner might want to give her tap shoes a rest, and now we get to watch her sing it. It'll be great. So here's the Vagina Song.
Oh, I am rather scared of describing my vagina. It's not very big, nor very small. Its description's not illegal, but it's no picture of a beagle, nor as ancient or as regal as the Taj Mahal. It isn't full of whistles, definitely void of bells, nor sings like a boy's choir from a cathedral down in Wells. If anything, it's a crypt, as it's dark, uninhabited, and smells. And that's why I don't like to speak of my at all. Oh, I am rather petrified of describing my It's not very long, nor very deep, though few have called it charming. I find it quite alarming, especially when disarming a man in his sleep. Though I may be critical, it's definitely worth its dues. It always knows its Jacobean lines along with Shakespearean cues. And though it may be tired as a married couple on a cruise, I accept it as my vagina to keep. Well, what exactly does one say about one's vagina? It's no opera seria, nor is it a joke. It's always in a hurry to have another curry with its biggest fan, Bill Murray, or that of a bloke. If it were Julie Andrews, it would come alive upon the heels. If it were a Beatle, it would marry Heather Mills. If it were in Kill Bill, it would be the one who kills. But probably it would prefer to choke. Oh, what can one say about one's vagina? Let's call her Jemima and take her out to tea.
Thank you, the wondrous Sooz Kempner, fantastic comedian and singer and performer. Just so wonderful to hear you do Emily's song. I think you're such a perfect fit writer and performer. So thank you for that. And Emily was another writer who, again, I met at BML. She was in my first class, along with the wonderful Sue Pierce. Was taught by Tim Sutton, just like I was, and yet we all became very, very different writers. So it sort of just goes to show that you can be taught the craft without ending up sounding like anyone else. So there you go. And Emily's stuff is all on the site as well. Do go check it out. So next up, we've got a fellow. He's very tall. That's the main thing about Eamonn you need to understand, is that he's extremely tall and intimidating in his height. I first met him after I'd seen his musical, The House of Mirrors and Hearts. I went to see it at the Arcola Theatre, and was just sort of taken aback by his the complexity, the sort of the rugged beauty of his music. And so I met him after that. I think that's when I met him for the first time. And since then, we've been to each other's birthday parties and things like that. And I've been an avid follower of everything that he's done. I watched his Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which was just extraordinary when it was done at the Other Palace last year. And again, as a writer who can seemingly turn his hands to any style that the story demands, which is what a great musical theatre writer should be able to do. The story should lead the way, and then you should be able to serve that story with your palette of tools. And Eamonn is one of the masters, I think. So I'm going to introduce him now. This is Eamonn O'Dwyer, and my good friend and wonderful writer. Please do give it up for Eamonn, virtually.
Hello, am I on? I hope I'm on. Thanks so much for having me here, and thank you all for being here from your homes. A huge thank you to Darren. I'm so glad that somebody cleverer than me figured out how to sell music online. I looked into it about 2 years ago, and it was so complicated that I just gave up. So I'm chuffed to bits that Darren has invented this site where we can all promote our music. Thank you also to Adam for tirelessly promoting our work. Sorry, my name's Eamonn O'Dwyer. I forgot about that bit. I'm a composer and lyricist. There's a few bits and bobs of mine on the UK New Musicals site. Some stuff from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, a couple of standalone songs, a song about poo that people seem to quite like, so that's jolly. But the song you're going to hear this evening is a song called Watch the Light from a show called Mrs. Beaton Says, which I wrote with my wonderful, wonderful collaborator, Helen Watts. It was commissioned by the Bristol Old Vic School, and it tells the story of the life of Isabella Beaton, who wrote the very famous book of household management in the 1870s. And Watch the Light comes near the end of the show, and it happens just after Isabella has lost her second child. And that's all you really need to know about the song. It has been done at Signal before, actually, one of the very early Signals back in the Hospital Club, those halcyon days when we could hug each other, which I hope will return soon. So that's the song you're about to hear, Watch the Light, sung by Isabella Beaton. And I am absolutely thrilled that my very, very dear friend, the amazing Rachel Tucker, has agreed to sing it for us. Rachel has been a friend of mine for years. We trained together. She's one of those performers who's normally too busy to ask to do things. She was on actual Broadway doing actual Come From Away when the pandemic hit. So now she's back and she's up the road from me, which means I can get her to do songs. So this is Rachel Tucker singing Watch the Light from Mrs. Beaton Says. Enjoy.
There's nothing you can say. Words are not enough. Each platitude and prayer is just another waste of air. There is nothing you can say. And there's nothing you can do. When your world has turned to stone, each second of each day just ticks relentlessly away. There is nothing you can do. So you sit and watch the light fading into gray. There's nothing you can do, and nothing you can say, and no way to get through another endless empty day. So you just sit and watch the light, watch the light, watch the light. There's nothing in this world that you would not gladly give. But each heartbeat and each breath becomes another little death. There is nothing in the world.
Wow.
Wow.
That was great. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Eamonn, for writing that, and Rachel for performing it. It's a real pleasure. Real pleasure.
Oh, so 11 songs, 11 new songs that can be bought.
11.
Yeah, how are you feeling, Darren? You made a
thing. I'm feeling good. I made a thing. Yeah, I've been delighted with how, well, not only tonight, it's the reaction I've had. It's the community that has sort of like come behind it, which has been so wonderful. Everyone's been so supportive, friendly, and just upbeat about the whole thing, especially in this crazy time we're all going through. The writers, performers. One of the things I really wanted to do with the site was to connect writers with performers, because over my years in the business, I've come to understand that it's one of the most important relationships that you can have, that can develop your own skill as a writer, is to work with brilliant performers who will take your work and turn it into something extraordinary. Not that it isn't extraordinary already, but like, you know, just like give it something extra.
It also strikes me that, like, if you're singing a Sondheim song, if you're singing a Jason Robert Brown song, that's great, but they're probably not going to write back to you if you write to them. They're probably not going to, you know, cry with joy when they see you perform their song. And I would say that there's something really special about the UK scene, because it feels like it's growing in front of our eyes. Like yeah, it really is. I think, like, you see it at the or when we used to go to the Signal concerts at in the Hospital Club, you would see performers there just literally, you know, going up and hugging writers afterwards or introducing themselves. That's a real community builder. And I hope that this sort of takes a leaf out of your book and starts to help build the community. In particular, so sort of leading on to the sort of the finale of the evening, we ran a competition at New UK Musicals, where performers could download, buy a song from the site, and then upload a video of themselves performing it onto the New UK Musicals Facebook group, which you should all join, by the way. And it's full of incredible videos, like, and very moving videos by some people you know and some people you don't know yet. It's great.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful little place to go if you want a bit of sunshine in your life. Pop down there, because I want to thank all of the performers who submitted performances of the songs. As Adam was saying, the writers, like, they listened and they commented and they said thank you for performing this work. You know, we had there's a 9-year-old girl who sang a performance of The Little Match Girl, and we had a great variety of performances going on the site, and it was just a joy to watch them all. I think we had sort of upwards of 60 videos of new songs submitted eventually, and it was just a joy watching them all. It really was. But having said that, there was one which was the winner, and it was won by the wonderful Cara McComb. I think that's how you pronounce it correctly. And she was singing a Change of Plan by Finn Anderson, which you all heard earlier on.
So it's going to begin and end the concert. So thanks.
It is going to begin and end, because we all love a reprise, don't we? Or a reprise, however you like to put it. But before we hear her sing, we're just going to have a little chat to her, I think.
Yeah, we certainly are. So we're gonna cut to a slide, and then Cara will be here live with us. So see you in a second.
Hello, Cara. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good, really good. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Oh, pleasure. It was a wonderful performance of Change of Plan by Finn Anderson that you did. And we were just going to ask you, so how did you hear about the competition in the first place?
Yes, so I seen the competition advertised on social media. So I seen it on Facebook, and from there I went onto the website and browsed through all the songs and had a listen to a lot of them. And that's when I came across Finn Anderson's Change of Plan. And I'd heard about Finn before, obviously. He's a fellow Scot, and I'd heard of sort of the things that he'd been doing back home in the Sutton Theatre and with the Conservatoire and things like that. But I'd never really delved into his material. So I listened to it and instantly I fell in love with it. It was just such one of those songs that I didn't need to listen twice to. I just knew that I loved it the first time that I listened to it, and really connected to the story and connected to the melody as well, which is gorgeous. So I downloaded that, bought that, and I learned it, recorded it, and then
went in for the competition.
Yeah, great. So, yeah, Finn's a proper mover and shaker in the Scottish world of musical theatre.
Yeah.
And so what was your experience like of taking part in the competition itself?
It was actually a really lovely experience. I've never been in for a competition before, and this didn't feel like so much for competition. It felt like a really supportive group and a community that came together. You got the opportunity to see all the other entries, which in other competitions you usually just maybe put your entry in and don't hear back until you know if you win or if you don't win.
Yeah.
So it was really lovely just to see everyone's take on the songs and what songs they'd chosen. Obviously these songs are new and they're fresh, so if someone had maybe decided to sing Change of Plan, it was really nice to just see how they'd interpreted it and seen how their take on it was, which was really nice. And it was just, like I said, it just became a community of supporting each other and celebrating this new writing, which I think is what we wanted.
Yeah, and I think like there's something special, as like that you mentioned there about a performer singing a new song. It's a chance to invent something that has not necessarily been done before, and you really get to put your own spin on it, don't you?
Yeah, it's so true, because we didn't have like with songs that you have that source to go onto YouTube and Google how it's done and maybe copy that bit of that actress and copy this bit, but this you came fresh to it and you started it on your own and it was original basically, so that was really nice.
Charting your own path. I've been learning my own method of presenting from Adam Lynch, and I practice his eyebrow raise as well. What are your so just to finish up? What are your thoughts about the sort of current scene of new musical theatre in the UK? What do you think about that?
I think it's such a wonderful thing, and I hope it continues and continues, because there's just something so exciting about it. Obviously, we have those classic musicals, like we've said before, that run for years and years, and they run for years and years because people love them and keep going back to them. But there's something so exciting about something that's new and something that's fresh and that's about our generation and about this time. And the initiative of the new UK musicals is, I know there's a lot out there, but it's the first ever resource that I've came to that has been accessible to anyone, a performer that I am, but also people that just really love musical theatre. And by buying these tracks and backing tracks and sheet music, you're not only getting something amazing for yourself, but you're supporting and celebrating British writing and musicals, which we need to do more of.
Absolutely, and I think there's definitely room for all of these. There's room for all of these songs out there. There's room for all of these musicals, and thank you for taking part in the competition and singing Change of Plan so beautifully. And thank you to everybody who took part in the competition. We really, really appreciate all of your entries. But now we're going to hear the Change of Plan as sung by Cara McComb. I hope you enjoy it as much as we did.
Hi, my name's Cara McComb and I'll be singing Change of Plan, music and lyrics by Finn Anderson.
So what? It wasn't part of the plan, so what? Aren't plans made for breaking? So what? It wasn't part of the map we drew, so what? Aren't maps ever changing? How was I ever to know all this would show just by holding myself up to the light? Space to breathe, space to think, space to be and see. For me this just feels suddenly right. So what? It wasn't part of the plan, so what? It isn't part of the world I built, so what? Maybe that world doesn't matter. People change day to day, doubts and questions somehow turn to dust as I see a little clearer. As this search grows, I can see its tiny face, those tiny hands, and all the crazy things it can do. I can see you so amazed, yet at the same time so unfazed by all that this life will bring to you. Somewhere at the bottom of my heart, somewhere there's a fire burning. Somewhere in the cellar of my soul, somewhere there's a tide it's turning. Somewhere in the attic of my mind, someone left a window ajar, feeding oxygen to the burning fire in my heart. As I breathe a little deeper, I feel every day I'm closer to the light. As I look a little harder, I feel something in me putting up a fight. As I go a little further, I get just a little closer to the truth, and I see a little clearer. This surge grows in me. So what? It wasn't part of the plan, so what? Aren't plans made for breaking?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Wow, that was fantastic, wasn't it?
Wonderful. Thank you,
Very
Cara.
worthy winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Real pleasure, like having these wonderful new singers perform all of this great new material. It's a real pleasure, and I'm very, very glad that it's been able to happen. And thank
So-
you, Adam, as well, for putting this together.
It was funny. Darren and I were in a pub in London Bridge. I can't have been that long ago, and we basically said,
It was the George Inn, wasn't it? The
Yeah, and we
George Inn.
said, in June, July, that's when we'll do a new musical, newukmusicals.co.uk concert, which, in my head was with a band and in a venue, and and so
Yeah,
it was in the
wasn't it?
calendar,
God.
and we kept the date because we like to do that, and because it's and because we do think there's something very special about the performances that you get during this time, the kind of the intimacy and the kind of the privacy of these videos and these live chats that you're getting. But thank you, and we also know that this comes as a bonus rather than something that excludes us doing that again in the real world, because the second there's a
Indeed.
band in a room, we'll be back.
We'll be there.
Look, a huge thank you to my co-technical supervisor for this evening, Christian Chorney, who has sat patiently
Chorney.
in the background in our headphones, sorting things out. It's there's been some summer energy technically today, which I think is all a lovely part of it. But thank you to him and that. Thank you to the incredible cast of performers. Thank you to the incredible writers. It's been just so moving, as it always is, hearing these songs. And it's also really nice to know that immediately, if you've liked any of them, there's a chance for you to go buy them now and send them to other people that you know or like. And there's a whole heap of new songs where these ones came from. Just a final reminder from me that it really does make a huge difference if you subscribe and like this video, because it recommends it to other people who might like it. And again, if at the moment you have no money to spare, which I empathise with, then please help us out by telling your friends, by getting us people who can rewatch this lovely concert in the coming days and spread the words of these incredible writers. So yeah, thank you everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm going to leave the last word with the amazing force behind all of this, who've built an entire database, who built an entire website and sales platform, and basically did it single-handedly. I mean, with lots of love and support from other people, but basically this wouldn't have been happening if it weren't for Darren. So on behalf of everyone who can't applaud him right now, thank you. And I'll leave you to say the last words. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. A huge thank you, obviously, to Adam as well for his constant championing of new musicals and his constant ability to get people engaged with it. He's built that bonfire and it's still burning and it'll get brighter and brighter. Just keep on throwing wood on that fire, Adam. Love it, and I love you. Right, yes, so the final word. What is the final word? The final word is... These songs are special. These writers are special, and they deserve their work to be heard in more and more places. The way I believe in which that happens is that we build the infrastructure for new musical theatre. There are missing parts of it. One of those parts was a place where you can go and get the music from some of the best new writers, and so you can sing it at auditions, at cabarets, at showcases, just in the shower. Who knows? You might live with a producer and they might hear you singing this song in the shower and go, my God, that's a great song. I'm going to put it on. They probably won't do that, but you never know. It just takes one person. And it just takes one person to start to change the landscape of everything. So that is what I hope we'll begin to do with this site. It wasn't just my idea. Lots of people over the years have contributed to my thoughts about this. And I want to thank the writers for being so open and so helpful and so engaged with the process and helping me do it. And to all the performers who are engaging and buying the sheet music. We've had nearly 200 songs bought on the site in the last 2 weeks. And you know, a lot of that money is going to the writers. So just so you know how it all works, the writers pay a small subscription. They pay £5 a month for all their songs to be on the site. They paid £10 originally for me to set up their page, and then 97.5% of the sales go direct to the writers. I don't take any commission. 2.5% goes to the sales platform and 97.5% goes to the writers. That's to help them buy another cup of coffee. They can buy another cup of coffee so they can write you another brilliant song. And just keep on singing those songs, keep buying those songs, keep getting the word. Tell your friends, tell your performers, tell your students if you're a voice teacher, tell your teachers if you're a student, and tell them to tell their students. Just tell everybody, and we'll be part of that bonfire. And thank you to everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful year singing these beautiful songs.
Bye from us. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.